Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to this episode of the New Hampshire Great Outdoors. Today's little adventure will be basically going out in the middle of nowhere. That's right where I'm at right now. I am so off trail. Wasn't using my GPS. I do have it as backup if I need to. But the scenario for today is sun's going down. I'm a hiker lost in the woods. It's not good to be walking out in the woods at night. So you're coming to the conclusion that you have to spend the night out in the woods. What do? You got to make a shelter out of what's available around you, and that'll be what we do today. Right now, the bottom line is I'm looking for a flat area, something clear, and come up with a design. There's so many bushcraft designs you can do. You can do a lean-to, you can do a teepee, you can make a giant pile of leaves and crawl into it. You know, there's many ways to stay warm and survive a cold evening. Once it starts dropping down, it's getting to be late fall. As soon as winter comes around, in the 20s, lower, you don't have a sleeping bag with you. You just have your usual backpack, day trip. You always bring some stuff with you, whether it's food, whether it's water. You always want to be out in the woods with something that, you can last a couple of days on. But you might not be expecting going on your day hike that you got lost. So again, what do? I have food and water, okay, but we need shelter. So let's find a spot and see what kind of shelter we can do up for the night. All right, coming through this area of the woods right here, I have come to a pretty good open area. I found this area here, just stumbled across it. It's nice little clearings, fairly flat. We do have a slight open in the canopy that if we needed to light a fire, we'd have some work to do with all these leaves. I won't be lighting a fire because it's been so dry and there are bushfires everywhere. So no fires. This is just going to be building a shelter. But this is the spot I'm going to do it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear an area. I'm going to clear out the leaves. Basically make an area that I'm going to be setting my shelter up. I've decided I'm going to go with a small, medium-sized teepee design. That way, if I can get it watertight, I could even have a little hole in the ground in the middle, inside, have a little fire, ventilation out the top type scenario. But what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the leaves, because even though, it's starting to get cooler out, colder nights, there's still some ticks and bugs and they like to hang out in the leaves. So clear out the area. Let's build it on some cleaner, soil. But let's get to it. How are you going to get rid of all the leaves in the woods? Come up with your own rake. There's always dead branches on it. Okay, as you can see, with just a branch, I've cleared out an area pretty good of all the leaves. The leaves we will be using later, but it's nice to have a nice cleaner area. You know, once your shelter's actually built, you can take some of the leaves and stuff them inside for insulation. Like I say, you can actually bury yourselves in it, and it will keep you warm, keep the wind off you. If it's all down to survival, you do what you got to do. You know, I could take all these leaves and just build a giant pile, crawl in the middle of it, you'll be fine for the night. I said, if there's bugs on it, there's not many. It's kind of cold out, but you do what you got to do. But let's get to building this teepee and see what we can create. All right, first of all, to start this out, we're gonna need the 3 main supports. Teepee has 3 main support poles. For a full size, the one I'd like to build, which I will at a later date, this is just not the time nor the area to do it. I would like to have poles, the main support poles being 9 feet long, the base of the teepee being around 7 feet wide. It could hold like 3 people. Right now I'm going to do a smaller version of it so you can see the general idea. And same materials, same structural build, but you know, for any size one that you want, if it's one person and it's really cold, you can make it smaller, but you can't really have a fire pit inside. I like the idea of having a fire inside, so I'd have it a little bigger. But we're gonna start with 3 main support poles. I'm probably gonna make them like 6, 7 feet, and we'll get started with the main supports. All right, I got my 3 main support beams. So it's gonna be a, medium to smaller size. These should be more than sufficient. You know, I wasn't pushed on them. They still got some strength. They're not rotted. They should do up well, but we're gonna tie these 3 together and stand it up. So like I was saying, when you're going out for the day, in your backpack, have your essentials, have some food, some water. I like to bring a couple of knives with me, a small one, a large one, some twine, some rope, anything that you might need in case you need to make a shelter. So what I brought with me, I do have my large knife. This is a great knife. It is my official Rambo 3 knife. It's awesome. But brought some thermos of water with me, some food, get some twine that I'm going to tie it up with. Holy shit, it came unraveled. Some more drinks, smaller knives, just some stuff. I can make any kind of shelter I want with that. He said I get some food in here, we'll be good to go. What we're gonna do, we're gonna lay down the 3 supports, make them kind of even at one end, and it really doesn't matter what the top's gonna look like. They're all different lengths, but you're gonna go down to where all 3 are, go around 6 inches down, and you're gonna tie all 3 of them together right there. And then when you're done, you stand it up, spread the legs out, and you'll have the basic structure of your teepee. All right, so I got my rope and my knives. I'm gonna cut this up probably, I don't know, like around 4 feet, 5 feet of it. This is an awesome knife. Gotta love it. You can use it for anything. Trimming some branches, carving, self-defense. Never know. All right, I got these 3 pretty much tied together. That should hold it more than good enough. Now we're going to stand this thing up and start putting the walls together. All right. Now we're gonna get some stuff going. Stop building the walls. We're gonna keep the entrance. I'll keep the entrance in here. If we want, we can even tie that up a little more. All right, we have the main structure put up. The thing is, you're not going to be making the Taj Mahal. You're looking to survive. The sun's going down. It's getting cold. You got to get a shelter built as fast as possible. So you're basically just throwing this together, sturdy, but it'll do the job. We got the main structure up. We're going to put some branches in between. Then we're going to start filling in the walls with whatever we have available. Mostly it's some pine and some leaves. So let's get on that. Now you're going to get a whole bunch of branches and you're going to weave it through the structure that you made. From top to bottom, get a good amount woven through. That way when we put leaves on top of it, they won't just fall through. It'll have something to hold on to. All right, we got a good amount of wood around for the walls. I wove some sticks in between. Now we're going to be weaving some pine in between, really sealing it up. All right, we got the basic structure up. Your entrance. There, you put some pine around it. Make it so it can hold some leaves that you stuff in. There's actually a good amount of room inside that. Enough to get you out of the elements. But let's start putting some leaves in and see what this thing will look like. All right, as you can see, we're getting this thing sealed up pretty good. Got a good amount of room in there. Like sealing it up, like I said, between the pine and the leaves. A nice little shelter. It's kind of deep. I bet you it's probably 4 feet, so if you had to curl up, a little fetal position sleeping. But seal it up with a little more leaves. See, now you're at the point you can just throw as much as you want on it. The more you add to this thing right now, you know, the thicker your insulation layer is going to be. Once it rains, it's actually going to pack it down and seal it right up. You know, if you're in a torrential downpour, it'll drip on you, but it's a lot better than being out in the elements, trust me. Yep, so far so good. This didn't take long at all. I've probably been into this for, I don't know, hour and a half. A little more work and this thing will be ready to go. Well, all right, I think we pretty much have it. I would have no problem hunkering down for the night in here. Like I said, if I need to, I could gather up a little more leaves, pack them inside, and once you're in there, bury them on top of you. It's good to have when you're packing your stuff, have like an emergency blanket. They're small, you know, they absorb heat really good, but your first aid kit, stuff like that, your food. But like I said, I've been here for probably an hour and a half, and if the sun's going down and you think you're going to be stuck in the woods, it's good to give a little effort, get yourself a shelter. So if you want, you can keep piling stuff on it, but getting the main structure down, it's fast, it's not that hard. You don't have to be creative. Like I say, you're not building the Taj Mahal. And just get yourself out of the elements. If it rains, this will protect you some. The wind, it'll protect you. So, and overall, let's see how much. Not too bad. I'm more than protected. I get some headroom. If I even want to, I can lay down. But yeah. But I think in the time that we did a pretty good job. So I'm kind of psyched. I've always wanted to come out, you know, if you have the day to just get out in the woods, go out there and goof around, build yourself a little shelter. Next time you go out, build a different style. You know, you can put a log between 2 trees, lean a whole bunch of other logs on it and build a lean-to type structure. That's a lot quicker. Same thing, and you just throw the leaves on top of it, get out of the elements, get away from the wind. You know, stay dry is the most important thing. You don't want to be wet and have the cold wind blowing on you. Hypothermia is no joke. Yeah, speaking of which, staying dry, I broke a sweat on that. So I took a couple of layers off. I'm keeping the bright colors on because it still is hunting season out here, and you never know, there could be some monkey out here that doesn't know the difference. Don't need to get shot. I think I'm gonna have myself some food. I think I'll be needing this. But where's my other one? Like I said, I like to have 2. Got 2 knives here. This one's really handy. We got a flintstone in case I need to light a fire. Really handy. But sometimes the smaller knives they don't cut it. So this is my second one of these. This thing's awesome. I've beat on them so much, and they can take a punishment. Probably sharpen it, you know, once a month. Depends on how much of a beating I get, but the weight's good, balance is good. Said it's good to have something for your defense too. Never know what's out in the woods. Not that I want to go one-on-one with a bear with a knife, but I'd rather go with this knife than that knife. See what we brought for some food. I have simple, got the Savage Macho Man Slim Jim, which is good. Get some crackers. Oh, you know what I was saying? Your emergency blanket. This is the size of it. Looks like a piece of aluminum foil. So when it's in the sun, it collects heat. These will keep you warm. So this is part of your must-have kit whenever you go out in the woods. You hear that? Just the wind. Quiet. Of course, with how much noise I was making, there's probably no animals around. They'll come back later. One might even use my little shelter now. But yeah, my snack's gonna be just a big giant Macho Man Slim Jim and my crackers. I'm not gonna light up my I have a single burner stove to heat up my water and make some of those meals, but it's too dry. It's way too dry. So this will be it for now. Get that. Get a drink. You get a whole container of water. This will be good till I get out of here. But this is basically a larger structure of what I wanted to do. And this structure, like I was saying, is just a smaller version of what I really want to do. If you have it big enough, like 7 feet side to side, right in the middle, dig yourself a little pit, put some rocks around it. You can have a fire in there. Ventilation will be right out the top. And you do it right, you could have 3 people in there. Build yourself even a little door. But there's a lot of things you can do, but you got to think it's smart, do it safe. See, that's why I'm not having any fires out here today. It's just too dry. Did this to get out of the house. I said, have some fun. It's good to be creative. Like, do something right off the top of your head. Almost every design turns out something different. We can leave this thing up here and see who finds it and what happens. Hunters might use it. Someone will come across, what the hell's this? But, I think it turned out pretty cool. Cheers, everyone. All right, everyone. I think that's going to bring this episode to an end. I'm going to head out before it really does get dark and the hunters come out. They like to cut out here like an hour or two before sunset. It's not even close. It's around 1 o'clock, but it's a weekend and who knows, maybe they'll be using this as a hunting blind. Maybe I help someone out, but I'm going to come back here after a couple of weeks, couple of storms, see how this thing survived. But if you guys enjoyed this, I'm going to try and do this a little more often. Like I said, I want to build a giant one of these with a fire pit in it when the weather's better. Going to be going on a winter overnight adventure. Maybe bring a couple of people with me and we'll try out some new ideas. If you like this type of, bushcraft and setting up shelters and camping, please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and stay tuned. We'll be doing this again. Until next time, take care of yourself and enjoy the New Hampshire great outdoors. Bye-bye. Now that I thought about it, came out here without my GPS or nothing. We're gonna just take a good guess and see how we do about getting out of here. Have a good one.